Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with another reaction video. We're going to be doing two videos today because my boy Chris told me that these go together. And we're going to check it out. This is token, happiness, and then exception. Let's dig in and see what's up. Oh, it's an indoctrination center. Not everybody is meant to learn these complicated mathematics. Like, for real. Like, we need to start taking an individualistic approach to the education system. Not necessarily like every kid gets to choose their own, like, I want to study butterflies and that's all you ever study, right? No. But some kids just are not going to need this math. Never. They know that. Their parents know that. The teachers know that. Everybody knows that. They're going to go and be a welder. You don't need to know algebra 2 or calculus to be a welder. Maybe to be a pipe fitter, but not to be a welder. And so we need to tailor it to what our kids are actually going to do. We need to have a class in like middle school level where you just explore opportunities. What are the jobs? What does that entail? And are you interested in it? Like, just take a day and focus on a different job every day in the class and help these kids decide, because some kids just don't know what opportunities are out there. But like these complicated math problems, not everybody knows that. Like, people like me enjoy that kind of thing. Like, I used to make up math problems to solve for myself just because I enjoyed doing it. But not everybody is wired that way. Some people hate that with a passion. They really do. And so we need to quit forcing people into boxes that they don't fit in. Give them the opportunity, though. Like, if they want to pursue that, by all means, they should have the opportunity to pursue that.
Yeah. Ripped jacket with the stains on the surface. He was the kid that everyone was happy they weren't sitting up.
Okay, so we talking about me.
Invisible to every passing person, wondering what it would feel like to have a purpose. He never had a childhood, forced to parent his own parents like no child should. His father was
bruh. All right.
He never had a childhood, forced to parent his own parents like no child should. His father is a veteran, drowning his memories with liquor, and his mother's taking pills like doctors give her, but they only make us sicker with no.
Right. You ain't finding happiness in a bottle. We talk about this all the time. Happiness is not a disease. It doesn't jump on you. You have to seek it out. And you can't find it in a bottle. You can't find it in a bowl. You can't find it in a can. You can't find it in chemicals. Where you can find it is by balancing yourself and getting right with God. That's where you find happiness at. Choosing to be happy about the things you have is a very real thing. Even for people like this. Like, we have a real big problem in this country with not being able to deal with emotions. Like the veteran, y'all know that's a touch point for me. I'm a veteran. I know veterans who have killed themselves. I know veterans who have died because of this stuff. And so it's important to me to make sure that we get that 22 down to 0. That's where I want it. I don't want it going up. I want it coming down. The way to do that is to teach ourselves as a culture that we have to go through these emotions in positive, healthy ways. Not by drinking them away and saying, oh, I'm not supposed to feel like that. I'm a man. Bullshit. You're a man who was built to feel emotions.
Simple in the walk through the stuff. No ends, no money, no friends, no buddies. He ain't talking enough. He don't put himself out there. He's offering too much. Well, who in his life would he learn that confidence from? And he sits behind me in class. One day I heard him crying from the back. Finally I turned around and I asked what was wrong. And the first time I heard his voice, he said, all I know is pain. If this is life, what's the point? Show me what happiness is. His voice gloomy, he looked through me. He said, show me what happiness is.
Hey.
Desperateness in his face.
I'm working on that, y'all. I am working on that diligently. I am through the introductory part of the book, and we're getting into the type of specific part of the book. I gave myself 30 days to get the rough draft done. We will have the rough draft done probably by the end of next week at the outside, which is well short of the 30 days because I am determined to help y'all find happiness. I'm determined to do that.
Didn't know what to say, I couldn't think. Show me what happiness is. Yeah. He put his head down and he didn't make a sound. Show me what happiness is. And I just froze, like I don't even know. Yeah. Perfect makeup even though she don't need the extra touch. She was the girl that every other girl was jealous of. Silky hair, blue eyes, thin body with curves, but her new clothes only covered parts of it. She's almost looked at like a goddess to all. Attracts every pair of eyes when she walks through the hall, but she's likable too. She's not the one to gossip. Evident when you talk to her, she ain't ever pompous. Wealthy home filled with knowledge and newness. She was the youngest out of 3 book smart students, and her parents were so proud. Pride was all around her, but I always noticed something was a little off about her. She sits in front of me in class. One day I noticed heavy makeup on her wrist when she passed papers back. After class, I approached her and I asked about it. She said it don't mean I have it if I'm around it. Show me what happiness is.
Like, this is breaking my heart because I know, right? I relate to people on a very emotional level because I know, I feel you.
I looked into her eyes, I saw her for the first time. Show me what happiness is. I saw regret, she walked away in a sec. Her voice rang through my head. Show me what happiness is. I watched her walk away, she became another face. What she say? Show me what happiness is. And I just froze, like I don't even know. I don't know because I ask myself the same thing every single day, but every single answer has been vague. How come some
I'm getting specific with you.
The same thing every single day, but every single answer has been vague. How come some appreciate the sun after the rain, while others just see the puddles as if nothing has changed? And as I watch,
how about that mindset, huh? Have we talked about mindset before? Have we talked about mindset before? Absolutely. Somebody sees the sun coming out, it's like that's a blessed thing. Somebody sees the puddles on the ground, it's like, damn, it rained. That's a real thing. People really stay in these zones, like that energetic level stays there. Be that guy that sees the sun. Be that guy that sees the puddle as a blessing to the earth, because the ground needs to drink too, y'all.
The sun after the rain, while others just see the puddles as if nothing has changed. And as I watch people living a life I couldn't take, I wonder if they see a way out mentally. And as I watch people living a life I idolize, I wonder what they feel and what isn't seen. As I watch my whole family take pills for depression, I wonder what true.
Bruh.
What isn't seen. As I watch my whole family take pills for depression, I wonder what true happiness really means. I wonder if because I'm genetically predisposed to it, that is the reason I find myself feeling weak. Only sometimes in and out. I guess it's scarier when you don't have a reason to be feeling down. Sometimes I just am. Sometimes I just feel no one will ever understand. Sometimes I wanna cry. Sometimes I wanna crush my family's so-called
Cry.
on medication, look in their eyes and tell them they don't need it as long as we just have each other. But then sometimes I watch them suffer.
But they don't want to, though. That's the thing, right? Right? Like, yo, I'm praying for a blessing for my dad. We've talked before. My dad he does opioids, right? He doesn't take them like they prescribe most of the time, but he's talking about trying to get off of them and to pursue a more natural route, the same route that I take, which for him would be absolutely wonderful. I just don't know that he's going to stick with it because he's looking for something in that chemical. He ain't looking for the pain relief. He's not looking for the anxiety or the depression, right? He's looking for something in that chemical to get him high. And that's a problem, bro. That's why you see these people with these medicines. And the medicine can be great. Sometimes people need the medicine. Sometimes there's a chemical imbalance that happens. And you need something to help pull you out of that. But if you're just eating them pills, it is not what it's intended for. It is not helping you to just pop them pills all day long. It's not helping you to take them off label. It's not helping you to take them for longer than a year, 2 at the outside. If you are taking depression meds for longer than 2 years, you are doing it wrong. You have not changed anything in your life, and you need to right now. For real, if you've been doing anything to cope with fear, depression, anxiety, sadness, whatever, if you've been doing whatever for longer than a year or 2, you're doing it wrong. You need to reassess and change something in your life. Those pills are not meant to be permanent. We've got kids out here on these ADHD medicines that are just kids that need to play. That is real. That is terrible. Quit changing the minds and start feeding the souls.
I just wonder where happiness is. Show me where happiness is.
And she ain't getting happy from taking them pills. Like, Xanax does not make you happy. Xanax makes you not give a fuck. It makes you not care at all. You're like, That's what Xanax does. It just removes your emotions completely. And you become a zombie to pharmacopoeia. Alright. That's round one. We're going to let it play on out. And then we will swap over here. Oh, well, he's got a long outro on that. We're going to go ahead and swap on over. We're going to check out Exception. This is 1 year later. And we're going to see where he goes with it, because I'm interested. I want to see if he's actually figured out where happiness is. Let's go. Don't look like it. There's your boy with the torn jacket. There's your girl with the hair.
There they go again, harassing this kid so easily. His name is Andy, he grew up right down the street from me. I barely know him though, I just see him in school while passing him. Usually followed by two kids giggling in back of him. I don't know why they feel a need to interfere, and I'll be honest, the kid is obviously a little weird. He's got a stutter, plus always talks to himself, but it is clear to me that shouldn't mess with him. He probably wish they disappear, like, yeah, he's different. So, he ain't causing harm to anyone. Yeah, he might have
listen to that again.
Stutter, plus always talks to himself, but it is clear to me that shouldn't mess with him. He probably wish they disappear, like, yeah, he's different. So, he ain't causing harm to anyone. Yeah, he might annoy him, not on purpose, though. He's never done something intentionally offensive like these other kids, like yelling, stop being a retard when they see him mumbling, or call him a faggot when he...
And see, I've never been that guy, right? I was a bully, but I wasn't this guy. Like, accidentally harming somebody is well outside of my want-to zone, right? I'm not trying to anymore. But if I was going to hurt you, or if I was going to pick on you, or if I was going to do something, number one, you were bigger than me. And number two, you knew I was coming.
He's saying something awkward, yeah, he lives with it.
But it seems like a harmless prank, right? You just pull the chair out, they fall down. Ha, that's funny. You know what happens when you hit that spine like that? Right? Ask somebody.
But he shouldn't have to any longer. He's just a kid like any of us.
It ain't funny, bruh. Like, he ain't got it like you.
And matter of fact, next time I see it, I'ma say something and have his back.
It's easy to say. It's harder to walk. But I raised warriors up in this house. They say something. And this kid, like, his circumstances are out of his control, right? He ain't got no control over his dad taking these pills and drinking and shit, and his mom taking these pills and drinking and shit. Like, he ain't got no control over that. He's just trying to control that little spot that he can, and everybody just piling it on him. I hate that about us. And yes, I lump me in there because I was one of those guys. Like, I didn't pick on people smaller than me, and I didn't pick on people with mental problems, like learning disabilities. Like, that is not where I'm going to pick on you at. I'm going for the big guy every time. But I was this kid. Like, I was this kid. That's where I learned to fight. Like, you got away with it once. And then after that, we rock it. It's on sight. And you might be mine. You might beat me down. You might take me out. But the next time I see you, boss, we going again. I'm just saying. I I had 5 dudes jump on me in high school. I think one time I accidentally said 7, but it was 5 guys. And there ain't but one of them out there walking around ain't caught that ass whooping. Hey, ain't but one of them. And that's all right. Like, that's water under the bridge. I don't care if I ever see that dude. I ain't going to fight him if I do. But them other 4, they caught it on sight.
The next day ain't any better. They're abusing him. Every day gets worse because people accept it as they become used to it. And he don't stand up. But what can you do with that hate against you? You call him out, you call the spaz with some anger issues. They hear, but they don't listen. Senseless. They hearing that bullies are everywhere, thinking that here must be the exception. But it's so alive and it's so true. They got open eyes, but they don't view. They got growing minds that they don't use, and it's pulverizing our whole youth. But to be honest, most of these bullies don't mean any harm. They're just kids like any of us. They like to be in charge, they like attention. They just lack guidance and getting it, so they put others down. None of us are always innocent, but that don't make it right. Cause again I'm watching Andy get tortured by 2 of his peers with no reason in sight. And I know he knows I'm watching, he sees me paying attention, and it's getting worse and worse. I hope he knows that I respect him.
He don't if you ain't there. I'm gonna say this now, and I don't give a shit who it offends. If it takes 2 of y'all to hit somebody, you a bitch. Just straight the fuck up. If you gotta group up to get in a fight, you a bitch. You ain't got no balls at all, bro. Not a set on you. At all, bro. Like, I hate that shit more than anything. That is coward to the extreme. I can't even fight this guy that don't fight back unless there's somebody holding him down. That just pisses me off.
The next day, Andy didn't show up to school, and I was nervous. He always came to this class. I wonder what was the purpose. The same class had the 2 kids who've been messing with him, but without a target, both of them just blended right in. 20 minutes later, the class was pretty quiet. As Andy walks through the door, he was shaking and crying. As all heads slowly in sync turn, he pauses, then pulls a pistol out of his front pocket. The girl screamed, the boy sat there terrified. Nobody expected this, but everyone knew the reason why. And before anyone could say something fully, within seconds 2 bullets flew into his bullies. More screams as the bodies collapsed. I felt I should say something, cause I was the only one who had his back. I said, it's over, Andy, they're dead. You had your wish. He turned to me and said, you were the 3rd on my list.
That's why I raised some warriors, yo. That is why I raised warriors. And now one of them 6'3", 240. So you ain't pulling this shit around him. I bet you money. Like, when my daughter's like 5'4", you ain't gonna do that either. Always gonna say something tomorrow. I'm always gonna step in tomorrow. We've talked about them sins, right? We've talked about them 7 major sins. And sloth, right? Where sloth reside, I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna take care of that later. That's tough stuff right there, y'all. And if it ain't true, I don't know what is. Like, that's how it plays out, right? Not every time. Not every time does it end in this kind of violence, but it's always wrapped up in violence. It's always somebody picking on somebody smaller or slower, right? You got to step up. You got to be that light. Like, and sometimes that light burns shit. There's a whole lot of people with that turn the other cheek. I'm not going to aggress on you. I'm not going to let you aggress on me. And I'm damn sure not going to let you aggress on somebody in a worse position, especially if they outnumbered. I'm that dude. I've been beat. Like, beat. I ain't trying to say I'm the toughest one out there. I'm not. But I'm dirty. Like, my daddy told me when I was a kid, like, straight up, said, there ain't no such thing as a fair fight, son. If you in a fight, it's for your life, win. And I took him at his word. Like, I will pick shit up and hit you with it. I will beat you down. And you don't get to say when it's over with. I say when it's over with. Ain't nobody around gonna say when it's over with. I say when it's over with. I let you go when I choose to let you go. You better be careful who you doing this around. Because I'm intending to make some righteous warriors out there. I'm intending, like, part of being a balanced person, like, I'm writing this book, and I'm in a great place these days. Like, I really am. I'm not in a aggressive place these days. But righteous anger is a good thing. God gave us anger for a reason. And boy, I ain't got no outlets for anger these days. So don't fuck around and find out. We're going to wrap it up there. Token, this was absolutely astounding. This was great music, and I love it. So thank you very much for this. I appreciate it. Chris, thanks for the recommend. I appreciate it. I'm glad I did them together because they did very well go together. I'm going to get into some more. Like, I'm slacking off on the music these days because there's not a whole lot left to talk about. But we had a lot to talk about here. There's still some stuff out there to talk about. So, well, it's whatever. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me. And I am praying for you every single day. Till next time, this has been Pittstake. Peace.